Picture this. You're doing everything right for your health. You take your vitamins religiously, eat well, stay active. You go to bed feeling fine, confident that you're taking care of yourself. But then you wake up unable to speak clearly, your arm won't move, or your balance is completely gone. What happened? A stroke. And the shocking truth? It might have been caused by the very vitamins you thought were protecting you. If you're over 60, what I'm about to share with you could literally save your life. As someone who has worked with countless older adults, I've witnessed too many preventable health emergencies caused by something most people consider completely safe: vitamins. Before we dive in, I need to ask you something important. Have you ever wondered if your daily vitamins could actually be harming you instead of helping? Drop a comment with yes if this thought has crossed your mind, or a no if this is completely new information for you. And if protecting your health and the health of your loved ones matters to you, please hit that like button right now and make sure you're subscribed. We share life-saving health information like this every single week, and you won't want to miss what's coming. Here's what most people don't realize. Millions of seniors take supplements every day hoping to strengthen their bones, boost their energy, or keep their mind sharp. And while many vitamins can be helpful, some, especially when taken in high amounts or at the wrong times, can quietly put your brain in serious danger. Today I'm going to walk you through 5 common vitamins that research shows may actually increase your risk of stroke, brain bleeding, or dangerous blood pressure spikes, particularly during those vulnerable early morning hours when your brain is most at risk. If you've ever taken vitamin B6, niacin, vitamin A, vitamin E, or vitamin D, you absolutely need to hear this information. It might just save your life. Let's start with one that might shock you: vitamin B6. You've probably seen it advertised as a brain booster or nerve supporter. Maybe someone even recommended it to you for energy or memory. But here's the terrifying truth that most seniors never learn. Too much vitamin B6 can actually destroy your nerves, sometimes permanently. Let me tell you about Harold, a 76-year-old retired truck driver who came to see me because his feet felt completely numb. His hands were constantly tingling, and his balance had gotten so bad that he'd fallen 3 times in 2 months. The third fall sent him to the emergency room with a head injury. Harold thought it was just part of getting older, maybe arthritis, maybe early signs of something more serious. But when I looked at his supplement routine, I found the real culprit. He'd been taking a nerve support formula for over a year. The bottle promised better brain health and circulation, but each tablet contained 100 milligrams of vitamin B6. He was taking 2 tablets daily. That's 200 milligrams per day, which is more than 10 times what seniors should safely take. Here's what makes this so dangerous. Unlike some vitamins that your body can easily get rid of, B6 builds up in your system over time. In older adults especially, it can damage the protective coating around your nerves, kind of like stripping the insulation off electrical wires. The result? Tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, tremors, and even confusion or memory problems. The symptoms creep in so slowly that many people think it's just normal aging, arthritis, or even early dementia. But it's actually vitamin toxicity, a slow, preventable kind of nerve damage caused by a pill that was supposed to help. Harold was fortunate that we caught it when we did. We stopped the supplement immediately, and the damage didn't get worse. But he still needs a cane to walk safely, and he had to give up driving. He told me with tears in his eyes, "I just wanted to protect my brain. I had no idea I was poisoning it." The truth is, older adults only need about 2 to 10 milligrams of vitamin B6 per day, and that includes what you naturally get from food. But many brain support supplements sold online and in stores contain 50, 100, or even 200 milligrams. That's not just unnecessary, it's dangerous. Have you ever taken a supplement labeled for nerve support or brain health? Let me know in the comments. Your experience could help someone else avoid this trap. Now let's talk about niacin, also known as vitamin B3. This is often promoted as a natural way to lower cholesterol and support heart health. Some doctors even prescribe it. You'll find it in heart health supplements, energy drinks, and fortified cereals. But here's the part that rarely gets mentioned, especially for older adults. Niacin in high doses can cause serious blood pressure swings and even trigger a stroke. I'll never forget Frank, an 82-year-old retired postal worker who came to see me with the strangest collection of symptoms. He was experiencing hot flashes in his face, a pounding sensation in his chest, and dizziness that would come and go every morning. His wife thought it was anxiety. His son blamed his blood pressure medications. But the real cause was something no one had thought to investigate. Frank had been taking an over-the-counter, heart-healthy supplement. The front of the bottle promised to support cholesterol and circulation. But when I checked the ingredient list, I found 1,000 milligrams of niacin per serving. He was taking it twice a day. That's 2,000 milligrams daily, which is over 60 times what most seniors actually need. Here's what happens when you take niacin in high doses. It causes your blood vessels to suddenly expand, which is why you might feel flushed or warm. But shortly after, those same vessels snap back and tighten up. This sudden constriction can spike your blood pressure, stress your heart, and reduce blood flow to your brain. Over time, this constant up and down effect is like repeatedly hitting fragile glass with a hammer. Eventually, something breaks. Frank experienced what doctors call a transient ischemic attack, or TI, essentially a mini-stroke. His speech became slurred for about 2 minutes, then returned to normal. He thought it was just a weird episode, nothing to worry about. But I had to give him the hard truth. His daily supplement that was supposed to help his heart was quietly putting his brain at risk. And Frank isn't alone. Many seniors take high-dose niacin without even realizing it. They buy flush-free or extended-release versions online, thinking they're safer. But even these forms can still raise blood pressure, trigger irregular heart rhythms, and affect blood sugar levels. Here's what you absolutely need to know. For older adults, anything above 50 milligrams of niacin per day should only be used under strict medical supervision. And if you have high blood pressure, heart rhythm problems, or you're taking any medications, you must check your supplement labels carefully. Frank is now off niacin and recovering well with no permanent damage. But he told me something I'll never forget. I thought I was doing everything right. I didn't know I was gambling with my brain. You probably always heard that vitamin A is good for your eyesight. Maybe you've taken it for your immune system, skin health, or because someone told you it helps with healthy aging. But here's what almost nobody tells you, especially if you're over 60. Too much vitamin A doesn't just sit harmlessly in your system. It builds up over time and can increase pressure inside your skull, mimicking stroke symptoms and potentially damaging both your vision and your brain. Let me share Dorothy's story. She was 79, a retired piano teacher who loved music and took great pride in staying independent. She taught students from her living room and was sharp as a tack. But one day, she started getting severe headaches. Then came blurred vision, dizziness, and slurred speech. Her family was terrified. All the signs pointed to a stroke. But when we ran her brain scans, something unexpected showed up. There was no blood clot, no bleeding. Instead, she had elevated pressure inside her brain. Her spinal fluid was backed up, and the tiny veins in her brain were under tremendous stress. The cause? Vitamin A toxicity. Dorothy had been taking a high-dose skin and eye supplement for over 5 years, nearly 10,000 IU per day, every single day, without realizing the danger. Here's the crucial difference that makes vitamin A so risky. It's what we call fat-soluble. That means your body stores in your liver, your tissues, and even your brain. Unlike vitamin C or B vitamins that flush out in your urine, vitamin A accumulates. And as we age, our liver slows down, so that buildup happens even faster. When there's too much vitamin A in your body, it can lead to a condition called pseudotumor cerebri, essentially a false brain tumor. The symptoms include headaches, blurred or double vision, dizziness, nausea, and even permanent vision loss or cognitive decline. The tricky part is that many multivitamins already contain the full recommended dose of vitamin A. But people like Dorothy unknowingly double or triple that amount by adding skin, eye, or anti-aging supplements on top. The safe upper limit for seniors is roughly 2,500 to 3,000 IU per day, and that's only if you actually need it under medical supervision. But many supplements sold online contain 5,000, 10,000 IU, or more. When taken daily for months or years, it's easy to see how the damage builds up. Dorothy is slowly recovering, but she now needs regular eye exams, pressure monitoring, and balance therapy. She told me through tears. I thought I was doing something good for my body. I never imagined it could hurt my brain. Now let's talk about vitamin E, often called the heart helper. If you've been taking it for years, you're definitely not alone. Many people over 60 add vitamin E to their routine, hoping it will support their heart, improve circulation, or maybe even boost memory and skin health. But here's the part that doesn't make it onto any bottle label. Too much vitamin E, especially when combined with common heart medications, can significantly increase your risk of bleeding in the brain. I have a story I'll never forget about Evelyn, an 81-year-old retired librarian who was one of the sharpest people I'd ever met. She was witty, well-read, and always had a book in her hand. Evelyn had a heart valve issue and was on warfarin, a common blood thinner. Her doctors monitored everything closely. Her blood work was perfect. Her blood pressure was stable. Everything seemed to be going well. But one day, she picked up a bottle of natural vitamin E that she saw advertised in a health magazine. The bottle contained 800 IU per capsule, and she thought it would help her memory and circulation. It seemed so harmless. After all, it was just a vitamin. 3 weeks later, Evelyn was rushed to the emergency room with a terrible headache, confusion, and vomiting. A brain scan revealed a hemorrhagic stroke, bleeding inside her brain. Not because of high blood pressure, not because of fall, but because a combination of warfarin and high-dose vitamin E had made her blood too thin to clot properly. Just one fragile blood vessel in her brain gave way. Here's what most people don't understand. Vitamin E in high doses works like a natural blood thinner. If you're already taking aspirin, Plavix, or any prescription blood thinner, and then add vitamin E on top, your risk of internal bleeding quietly goes up. This is especially dangerous in the brain, where even a small bleed can rob you of your speech, your memory, or your ability to walk. And here's the shocking part. The recommended daily intake for older adults is just 15 milligrams, which equals about 22 IU. Yet most supplements on store shelves contain 200, 400, even 1,000 IU per capsule. No warnings, no consultations required, and many people take them every day for years. Evelyn survived her stroke, but she now walks with a cane, and her short-term memory was never quite the same. She told me through tears, "I just wanted to help myself. I didn't know I was doing harm." That's the part that breaks my heart, because she's not alone. So many seniors think that if it's a vitamin, it must be safe. But the truth is, not every vitamin is safe, especially when you're taking heart or blood pressure medications. You absolutely must talk to your doctor before adding anything new to your routine. If you're currently taking vitamin E, especially if you're on any blood thinning medications, please drop a comment below and let's start a conversation about safe dosing. Finally, let's talk about what might be the most surprising one of all, vitamin D. You probably heard that it's essential for strong bones, a healthy mood, and even your immune system. And that's all absolutely true when taken in appropriate amounts. But here's something most seniors are never told. Too much vitamin D, especially when taken at night, can quietly raise your risk of stroke. I know that sounds almost impossible to believe, but I've seen it happen with my own patients. Let me tell you about Walter, a 74-year-old retired Navy veteran. He was sharp, disciplined, and took his health very seriously. Every morning, like clockwork, he would line up his supplements, including a 10,000 IU vitamin D capsule he'd bought over the counter. He truly believed he was protecting his bones and doing everything right. But what Walter didn't realize was that this simple daily routine was slowly pushing his body toward a silent disaster. One morning, his wife found him confused and disoriented. He couldn't speak clearly, and his right arm hung limply at his side. It was a stroke, seemingly out of nowhere. His blood tests showed dangerously high calcium levels, stiff arteries, and blood pressure readings that were all over the place. The culprit? Vitamin D toxicity. Here's what happens when you take high doses of vitamin D, especially without medical guidance. It causes calcium to flood into your bloodstream. Your body doesn't know what to do with all that extra calcium, so it deposits it into your arteries, making them stiff and narrow. And you can probably guess where that leads. A blood clot can form and travel straight to your brain. As we get older, our arteries naturally lose flexibility. Add in dehydration, poor sleep quality, and a calcium spike during the night, and you created the perfect storm for a stroke. The scariest part? There are absolutely no warning signs. You go to bed feeling completely fine and wake up with your life forever changed. Here's something else you may not know. Many over-the-counter vitamin D supplements contain far more than older adults actually need. 5,000 IU, 10,000 IU. People take these amounts every day thinking that more must be better. But studies show that even 2,000 IU daily may be too much if you're not actually deficient. Let me be crystal clear about this. If you're taking vitamin D, especially along with calcium supplements or heart medications, it's absolutely crucial to get your blood levels checked regularly. And always take in the morning, never before bed. Walter's story had a relatively good outcome. He recovered most of his speech and movement, but it was a wake-up call that changed everything about how he approaches supplements. Do you know how many IUs of vitamin D your supplement contains? If you're taking vitamin D right now, drop a D in the comments. Let's get this conversation started. Now, if you're feeling overwhelmed by all this information, please give this video a like to help other people find it too. The knowledge you're gaining right now could prevent a life-changing health emergency. By now, you might be wondering, if these vitamins can be so risky, what should I do instead? That's an excellent question, because the truth is, your body wasn't designed to run on pills. It was built to thrive on real, whole, nutrient-rich food that your brain recognizes, absorbs, and uses in exactly the right amounts. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 73-year-old retired school principal. When I first met her, she opened a drawer that was completely full of supplements: vitamin D for bones, vitamin E for her heart, B-complex for energy, niacin for cholesterol, a multivitamin, and several others for brain support. "I'm doing everything right," she told me confidently. But Margaret was feeling dizzy in the mornings. Her balance was off, and her blood pressure kept climbing despite her medications. Something wasn't adding up. So we did something that might sound radical. We cleared the clutter. One by one, we removed the pills and replaced them with real food. No magic diet, no fancy program, just simple, whole foods at the right times and in the right combinations. Here's what Margaret's new breakfast looked like. 1 boiled egg for clean protein, half an avocado rich in healthy fats, a slice of whole grain toast for slow, steady energy, a handful of fresh blueberries loaded with brain protective antioxidants, and a glass of room temperature water to properly hydrate her brain. Sometimes she'd add a few walnuts or almonds. That's it. No powders, no pills, just real, recognizable, nourishing food. Within just a few weeks, Margaret noticed a dramatic difference. Her morning dizziness completely disappeared, her blood pressure stabilized, her energy returned, and she told me her mind felt clearer than it had in years. Here's why this approach works so well. Your brain needs proper hydration, healthy fats, consistent fuel, and micronutrients in their natural form. It doesn't need megadoses of isolated compounds. It needs balance. Some of the best foods for older adults include leafy greens like spinach and kale, which are rich in folate and protective antioxidants. Fatty fish like salmon or sardines provide omega-3s to protect brain cells. Berries offer polyphenol that reduce inflammation. Nuts and seeds supply vitamin E, magnesium, and brain-healthy fats in safe, natural amounts. Whole grains help keep blood sugar stable and support healthy circulation. Remember, these foods don't just protect your brain. They support your heart, strengthen your bones, improve your mood, and enhance your mobility. You're not just eating, you're healing with every single bite. At this stage in your life, every choice you make matters more than ever before. And the truth is, it's not necessarily the pills you take, but what you understand about them that truly protects you. Your body at 60, 70, or 80 doesn't process supplements the same way it did when you were decades younger. Even well-meaning habits like taking daily vitamins can quietly backfire if you're not careful and informed. That's why awareness is truly your most powerful medicine. You don't need to be afraid of vitamins, but you absolutely do need to respect them. Read those labels carefully. Ask your doctor the right questions, and most importantly, listen to your body, especially when it's trying to whisper warnings to you. The stories I've shared with you today aren't meant to scare you. They're meant to empower you with knowledge that could save your life or the life of someone you love. Walter learned to check his vitamin D levels regularly and now takes a much smaller, safer dose in the morning. Harold discovered that real food gave him more energy than any supplement ever did. Dorothy now gets her vitamin A from colorful vegetables instead of high-dose pills. Evelyn works closely with her doctor to coordinate all her medications and supplements. Frank found that a heart-healthy diet worked better than high-dose niacin for his cholesterol. And Margaret feels better at 73 than she did at 65, all because she chose food over pills. If any part of this video spoke to you, please tell me in the comments. What's one change you're going to make starting tomorrow? Your story could inspire someone else to take action. If you found this information helpful and potentially life-saving, please give this video a like to help others find it too. And make sure you're subscribed so we can keep learning, growing, and staying strong together. Remember, you're not alone on this health journey, and you're never too old to take back control of your well-being. Sometimes the most powerful medicine is simply knowing what not to take.